Hi everyone. What I'm going to talk to you about in this video is an extremely important part of our WHS program. Over recent times, State Water has seen substantial improvement in our decreasing injury rates, our adherence to safety procedures, the manner in which we go about our work, and the application of those safety requirements, and these in conjunction with other initiatives or systems have provided us with enviable safety results. This is due in no small part to you, those people that take pride in working for State Water, and those same people that I hope go home at the end of the day in the same condition to that in which they arrived. The induction process is the first opportunity for any new starter to understand what they need to comply with when on our assets or in our offices, be it their first day with State Water or their first visit to any of our sites. Unfortunately, there is plenty of evidence available that shows a disproportionate number of injuries occur within the first 6 months of employment and are more prevalent within a few specific age, gender and work demographics. Unfortunately, those particular overrepresented groups are employed somewhere within State Water's staff and involved in the activities we undertake. This video session is designed to provide some clarity of our induction process that is not readily transferable in the induction literature or the policy and procedure. It provides a framework to ensure appropriate and relevant information is provided to all persons, as well as help them understand their responsibilities and the expectations the business has of its workers to abide by our safety procedures. I won't go through the induction procedure in detail, but I will focus on a few of the more salient points. Firstly, the induction flowchart. The flowchart has two streams under each of two headings, State Water employees and non-State Water employees. We will look first at the State Water employees. On a new employee's first day of work, they are expected to receive the general safety induction, whereby they are taken through a PowerPoint presentation where a large number of safety-related systems or procedures are covered. For example, in general terms, it covers the use of safe work method statements and risk assessments, how to report an injury, some of our high-risk activities, and the controls applied to make sure that we look after them. It is a large amount of information to digest, but is readily accessible on the WHS intranet page for future reference at any time. The next step is the site-specific induction. This is designed to be more specific about items particular to the location where the person is based as part of their normal work, be it an office or field site, but is also to be provided upon either the person's first visit to a new office or field site, or if it is more than 2 years since their last visit to the site. The 2-year duration is not valid for your normal place of work, but is designed to refresh a person's memory when visiting a site that has not been attended for more than the 24-month period. The site-specific induction contains information such as evacuation points, the location of firefighting equipment, the location of first aid kits, who the site contacts are, plus it mentions safety data sheets for the chemicals or products used at the site and the PPE that is required. This site-specific induction is exactly the same for each location with the specific detail changed to suit. The end of the site-specific induction contains a checklist for the person being inducted to be completed by the inductee and the inductor. So, on your first day with State Water, you will receive a general safety induction and a site-specific induction for your normal place of work. Upon visiting any other location for the first time, or if it's more than 24 months since your last visit, your manager will need to arrange for your site-specific induction to be undertaken upon your arrival. At all of our field-based sites, you should also ask for and then review the site-specific safety management plan. This contains information on hazards relevant to that site. The second group on the flowchart are the visitors or non-State Water Corporation employees, such as tradesmen or service technicians, for example. We'll deal with the easy ones first, the general public or non-workers. If a person is only visiting an area normally accessed and designed for use by the public, no induction is required. The only other category within this group where no induction is required are those people that are visiting the office, such as photocopier repairmen, postal deliveries, etc., or visiting dignitaries such as politicians. If they are fully escorted at all times and are not accessing construction or high-risk areas such as galleries, spillways, etc., then they do not need an induction. If you encounter any circumstances where you are not sure about whether to provide an induction or not, please consult with the WHS team. The last group are the tradesmen or workers visiting our sites. Presumably this group will be undertaking activities of some sort on our field sites predominantly, and will need to have an understanding of the location of all of those site-specific items mentioned earlier. Due to the potentially infrequent nature of this group's activities and visits to the sites, the requirement for the interval for this group between inductions is 12 months rather than 24 months. At the completion of the site-specific inductions, there is a questionnaire to be completed. The questionnaire is to assess the understanding of the person being inducted to ensure they have digested the important information and State Water can be confident of that understanding. This questionnaire is to be filled out at the completion of every occasion that a site-specific induction is undertaken. You will notice on the induction questionnaire that it asks for the white card number of the person being inducted. Under National Health and Safety laws, any person doing construction work in Australia must have successfully completed a general OHS construction induction course for the industry before they start work on any construction activity. Construction activities include housing construction, civil construction, renovations, repairs, refurbishment, asbestos removal, carpentry, bricklaying, concreting, plumbing and roof, floor and wall tiling, and on it goes. While some of our maintenance and operational activities may not fall into this category, by enforcing the requirements for the white card or its equivalents, we can be assured that the person holding the card has received training on risk assessments and how to complete a safe work method statement or job safety analysis. Again, if you are not sure about whether the person undertaking work for you is required to have this card, please consult with a WHS team. Upon completion of the site-specific induction, the questionnaire with all required fields filled out is to be sent to the email address inductions@statewater.com.au. It is then loaded into a database which is visible on the same intranet page so that the details of any persons previously inducted to a site can be found. It is the responsibility of either the immediate manager, supervisor or team leader, either hiring a new starter or arranging for an employee to visit any site to ensure that the inductions are arranged and completed in a timely manner. That brings us to the end of the induction part of the video. One more point I would like to mention before we finish is to reinforce to our staff that the WHS landscape seems to be continually changing at the moment. With the introduction of the new legislation and reviews being undertaken of many codes of practice for activities we undertake, such as confined space, hazardous chemicals, but to name a few, there is a lot of work being done internally with updating of procedures. It would be beneficial that when searching for safety-related information on our intranet or swim, check to ensure that the policy or procedure being used is within valid dates. If it is not, please ask your supervisor or the WHS team if it is still current. For those of you oldies like me that remember a show called Hill Street Blues that was on in the early 80s, at the end of the police roll call, Sergeant Esterhouse would finish his address to the troops by saying, "Let's be careful out there. Never a truer word spoken." Thank you for your time.